Hey everybody, what's up from Roll, Minnesota, your state of skate. Butch Lehman here, and today we're in for a special episode of Rolling Reactions. We're covering the new Ilia Savosin promo video, and this is unlike anything that I've ever seen. And I hesitate to use the word masterpiece when describing a piece of inline skating media, but that really is what this video is it's a masterpiece. And I want to break down why this is worthy of Skate Edit of the Year or Skate Video of the Year, because I think a lot of people miss the underlying meaning and the symbolic significance of this video. So I think it's worthwhile to peel back the layers of this video and give it the full analysis. So that's what we're going to do. Let's roll the intro. All right, so as our door opens at the beginning of the video, we get the establishing shot revealing Ilia Savosin decked out in his clown gear. And here we see him engaging in the most repetitive task imaginable, bouncing a ping pong ball up and down until he's interrupted by a commercial, offering him an escape from reality, an opportunity for some validation and for some recognition. And that's where we see Ilia's first sense of emotion in this video. And I think that's one of the really important details, right? So he's offered this opportunity of a lifetime to win a competition, so he smiles. And I know what Frankie Morales would say, that there's no smiling in rollerblading, but that's really what you're going to get from Ilia here. Now, we break away from the routine to do something extraordinary, to be somebody, again, to get that recognition for the talent. And this, from a narrative standpoint, serves as a call to action and is a great way to introduce the excitement and the adventure of the video. But on a symbolic standpoint, I think it works really to two different purposes. On the first, this could represent the grind of working class labor, where everybody wants to be noticed and appreciated for what they do, for what they bring to the table, again, that talent. But unfortunately, we're all stuck in this anonymous, nameless, faceless existence that we call life. And I think in a lot of ways, that's what inline skating or rollerblading is for us as skaters, is it's that escapism. It's that opportunity for us to break away from the grind, the dull repetition of reality, and to embrace that creative expression that we have through the tricks that we're doing, through the interactions with other people, but also the interactions with our environment. We kind of live in this insulated community. It's a small community of inline skaters. It doesn't really have that large mainstream exposure. So that desire to be seen, to be recognized and validated by those beyond the inline skating community, I think is something that we can all relate to. All right, so we're skating through the city at warp speed here. You've got that big smile on his face. He's excited to finally be in an environment doing what he loves. And we get a big misty flip. I cannot emphasize that enough, that the caliber of tricks in this video are really top notch. Also, we got to shout out some of the product shots here, since this is a skate promotion video. I think Roces does a good job focusing on the story, but also incorporating their product into the video. And massive drop kink rail here. I can't imagine how dangerous, how difficult that would be to do without the clown makeup and the jacket and stuff on, but Ilia makes it look really easy. And here he creeps up and surprises this guy. Now, as I mentioned earlier, he's interacting with the public, and I think that's something that's also representative of the entirety of the inline skating community, that it's our desire to get that mainstream validation and recognition for what we do. And deep down, we're all entertainers. We're doing tricks. We want that public acknowledgement as entertainers. So it's no surprise that Ilia leaves mouths agape. He surprises people. He leaves them shocked. But in a way, I think that also reflects Ilia on a personal level, where that is his genre. His style of content isn't just inline skating for skating's purposes, but he's always doing something creative and interesting, trying to reach a wider audience. And often that is the reaction. It's very provocative content, and it's often a bit jarring. It's kind of unusual. All right, so now that we're done with that sequence, we're entering a new environment, and this time he's getting pulled behind a horse rider, which is something I don't think I've ever seen in skating before, but it makes for a really cool shot, especially with this drone shot, just following along, super smooth, super chill. It's a really unique thing, and I think there's some artistic symbolism behind this. So from here on out, all of the skating is really episodic and comes in a series of unique circumstances and environments that Ilia is interacting with as he moves from one place to another. And what I really like about this sequence is, as he's being pulled behind the horseback rider, doing the switch up on the long rail, it's just the juxtaposition of high culture on the one hand, and then aggressive inline skating on the other, which is something we wouldn't view as particularly prestigious or wealthy or luxurious. And if you think about it, even the costume signals this contrast. You've got the formal, polished uniform of the horseback rider, the equestrian. And then on the other hand, Ilia's in this clown suit with some unevenly applied makeup. It's kind of cheap and silly and false versus, again, that higher culture element. So here we have these two different elements coexisting in harmony. And although they're typically in isolation, here we see them working together and validating each other. Again, the duality of opposites coming together is really at play in this video, and you'll see it in just about every scene. All right, so we're back to the city. We're speed running once more. Ilia's got other places to go, other tricks to find. And this poor guy is just out for an afternoon row about the lake with his girlfriend, and he almost gets taken out. But this takes us into a whole new environment, along with some fishers. This water transition is absolutely masterfully done, and it's taking us from our original location in the city to an entirely new environment, and that happens to be out in nature. And you can kind of tell with the audio, I don't know if I have it in this video, but once he submerges himself into the water, it becomes muffled and distorted, much like being underwater itself. So that creates a really immersive experience for the viewer. And I think this change in environment is an excellent way to reinforce the next point of the video, which we'll see here. All right, so everything is relaxing and peaceful, but then out pops Ilia with a fish in his mouth. I love the little bit of humor that he can incorporate into these videos. The video's not taking itself too seriously, and that's obvious from the clown makeup and clown suit. But check this out, he's able to make a really cool trick out of just about nothing in this new environment. From a logistical standpoint, I can't even begin to imagine how much time and effort this sequence took to set up and actually execute, but it does reinforce the central philosophy of this video and of art in general, that the world is this open canvas just waiting for people to inscribe it with their mark, to interact with the environment in a meaningful way, to express our emotions and our feelings. There's also the obvious symbolism of crossing a bridge, right? Bridges are used in stories often of conveying a natural obstacle and overcoming it. And that's quite literally what Ilia is able to do in this situation as he travels from one side to the other and into an entirely new environment, which is our next location. So as we continue skating, we need to get to the talent show still, and Ilia finds this rail and backflips into the bank. Really cool trick. This is my personal favorite one. I love the fusion of like park style tricks into the street and doing a little bit of showmanship for us. So this is without a doubt my favorite trick and my favorite sequence in the entire video. Not only is the camera work masterful here, switching between the shots as he's doing the backflip off the rail, but the close-up of Ilia immediately afterwards almost seems to break the fourth wall that the video establishes. There's absolutely nobody around down at the bottom of the hill, yet Ilia is able to turn, smile, and wave to the camera, embracing his role as an entertainer and kind of cementing it for us as the viewers. He smiles and acknowledges the audience directly, letting us know that this is what he's here for. He's here to entertain us, the viewers. And to me, that's incredibly self-referential, and it's something that I love about this video is just how self-assertive it is. With that one out of the way, the journey continues. Ilia changes directions here, and this is the one sequence that disturbs me a little bit. Does he just pop that little girl's balloon? I'm not exactly sure what the purpose of that is, but once more, we're getting on to our next trick in another new environment, and Ilia's able to capitalize on some different individuals here for help, for some support, so they should get a supporting cast role down in the credits of this video. Absolutely massive back royale though, and Misty flip out. Super scary tricks, really high caliber. I feel like Shima would be proud of this one. Like, this is Shima-esque if you ask me. Once again, we have an absolutely amazing sequence that involves some great camera work, but is complemented by some equally amazing skating. When you put those two things together, it's something really special. So one of the points that I think is unique here is this actually completes the trifecta of interesting, unique locations for skating. Originally, we started out in the city in an urban environment, and Ilia was able to use some of the traditional spots like rails to do some tricks. Then took us to a natural environment, out into nature, where Ilia was able to utilize not much actually, but still come up with an amazing trick. And then finally, we enter into an industrialized setting, and once more, Ilia is able to put together what's arguably his best trick, his best line in the video. Finally, there's one additional point I wanted to make here, and that's just the dependency upon others, on the general public. To make this trick happen, Ilia was pulled behind a car by some unnamed anonymous individual just pulling him, And then also there was a worker that opened up the gate of the truck so that he could make his escape and Misty flip out. And I think there's maybe some underlying commentary and symbolism there as well, that as entertainers, we're hoping to give something to the public, right? We want to entertain them, and that's Ilia's goal here. That's why he made this video. But also there's a codependency. As entertainers, you got to be equally reliant upon the public, because without all the support of everybody out there watching, supporting, purchasing, whatever, none of this happens. And I think Ilia's aware of that and is taking that codependency to mind. With that out of the way, we've now been through each of our primary episodes of the video. Ilia is going to make his way up to the steps, up to the competition finally to achieve his goal of the video. And again, it's the hope of winning this competition. What you'll notice though is as the spotlight comes on, Ilia reverts back to where he was earlier, abandoning everything that brought him joy and optimism throughout the video so far, which was the skating. And here we are once more with the ping pong ball. He just casually walks off stage. Again, there's some symbolism behind this too. This last scene is arguably the most important, but we finally see Ilia arrive at the talent show. And for the most part though, the judges are not having this. They're completely disinterested in the talent that he's showcasing, which rather than being the skating that we've seen up until this point, it goes back to the beginning of the video, bouncing the ping pong ball up and down repetitively. Now there is one judge that seems emotionally affected by this. She's initially clapping, but in an act of conformity, she looks over to the other judges for validation and sees that they're all bored, that they're all unimpressed and unenthusiastic, and then so she changes and conforms her position to that of the others. To me, this is the perfect example of conformity in action, and it serves in stark contrast to Ilia himself, who is really anything but normal in this video. I mean, he's wearing a clown suit, he's interacting with the public, he's doing big tricks while rollerblading. It's such an unusual combination of things that you can't help but be impressed by it. And here's the interesting thing though. He's back to doing the same repetitive, boring ping pong task, bouncing up and down, and looks absolutely miserable doing it, unlike earlier when he had this joyous expression on his face throughout all of the skating segments. If this reflects a return to reality, to the daily grind of everyday life, trying to make a living in the real world, or the inner turmoil of an artist trying to forge a career, doing what they love while also being stuck in the grind in a job that they hate, then perhaps this is actually a happy ending to this video. Maybe deep down the judges of this world are looking for creativity, for passion and originality, and even though society may have conditioned us to simply bounce the ping pong ball and follow a derivative formula for living, we all inherently know and can appreciate true art when we actually see it. If Ilia had shown the judges what we as viewers had seen in this video, perhaps he would have won the competition and become the star that he's always wanted to be. But he didn't seize that opportunity. Instead, he chooses to play it safe and show the judges, show us exactly what he thought we wanted to see rather than what the world actually needs to see. I suspect that that's precisely the point of this video. This video already has over 106,000 views, with plenty of people rightfully praising it for what it is. Ilia could have easily played it safe and chose to make a more derivative, formulaic video, cataloging all of his amazing skate tricks to music and just calling it good. And that would have earned some praise too, but not nearly as much or as widespread as this because of the route it chose to go. Instead, Ilia chose to make this video. A video that could have been easily ridiculed for the direction and some of the creative decisions that he chose to infuse into it, and for the self-referential nature of it. But I think that's precisely why this video succeeds. And really, I think there's three supporting factors here. First, it reflects Ilia's desires and motives to break away from the daily grind and the routine work expectations of life, and to be recognized and compensated for the talents that he possesses as a professional athlete. And I think that's a desire and an idea that is totally valid and justified. Second, though, I think it captures the essence of inline skating as a way to escape the real world and creatively express ourselves in a number of different environments, and using those different environments as a blank canvas for our medium of art. Finally, it reinforces the idea that deep down we're all seeking a certain level of transcendence, an expression, a feeling of going above and beyond where we're currently at in life. And that conformity is the real clown suit here that we all choose to wear at different times, rather than just allowing ourselves to be that authentic version of ourselves. So which one is really the clown suit? Is it the one that we wear to our corporate setting and to the daily grind? Or is it us out rollerblading being entertainers that we were born to be deep down? Anyway, guys, this is my vote for video of the year, and I sincerely hope we get more videos like this out of Ilia in the future, as well as other professional skaters. I think clearly there's a market and an appetite for this type of narrative-driven video. Not only is stuff like this thought-provoking, but it's also more engaging for the viewer. And like I alluded to earlier, there's clearly a market for this type of video beyond just our insulated inline skating community. Clearly, the general public, a more mainstream audience, is interested in seeing skating in this light. Anyway, guys, you'll have to let me know down in the comments below, am I overanalyzing this video, or is this a contender for video of the year? Let me know down in the comments. Anyway, guys, we'll see y'all with the next video. I'm Butch Lehman of Roll, Minnesota, reminding you to stay safe, stay healthy, and get out there and do some rollerblading. Till next time, everybody, peace.